if we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan anyway,
Yeah.
so something that a question I've asked you before a long time
Hmm.
ago was that there are different like eras or periods in wrestling. Like
For
Hulk
sure.
was in the top guy forever. So you told me about a whole bunch of different eras, and each one kind of had like their big guy, their big
Yeah.
name, their top
Yeah.
star.
Hmm.
So like if Hulk Hogan, why don't you start us off by telling us what eras, and we can talk about who those guys were, who were the faces of the company, like for those eras, because Hulk Hogan has to be one of them, right? Like, there's no way that he's not, right? Like, that's a
Uh,
thing. It's got to be a thing.
no, no, no. Like I said, I mean, I heap so much praise on him and what he did for wrestling. So, he came up in what's called the golden era. I'm sorry, the golden age, whatever. They say era for a lot of things.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the golden era. We're just going to say era because literally everything else says era. The golden era was the 80s to the early 90s. Some say around like 92, 93, where we'll get into that the new generation era. But in the golden era, I almost want to put. I'm going to take Hulk Hogan out of this. I'm going to make him not an option. Okay.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
of yeah because I'm gonna basically call it the Hulk Hogan category in terms of the names that you're going to hear going through a lot of these eras. That's going to flip into a different person as we go. There's going to be three guys that I say, that I kind of say would be the shift into now. Hulk was now it's this guy, and then that guy was and now it's this guy, right? So I'm going to take Hulk out of it, and
All
as
right.
we
So
go,
slow it down
I'm
for
going
me.
to take those I'm
Hold
going
on.
to take those
Slow it
other
down for me.
wrestlers out
Slow it
of it.
down for me.
Okay, okay.
So you're telling me that for the era, you're going to give like the top three guys, but for the golden era, you're not going to include Hulk in that list.
No. Oh, he'll be one of the, so this for a little bit will be one, two, like two generations. It's just called the Hulk category.
Okay.
All right. And then there'll be somebody, you'll hear it. Okay. So
See,
the
this is why I'm
golden,
here, so I can think very deeply.
the golden era. Okay. Let me ask you, we
Okay.
talked about WrestleMania 3, right? And at the very beginning of our conversations, really in wrestling, what match did I recommend that you watch? And what did that do for you?
Okay.
What did that do for you? Yeah.
It was, and I think it was a WrestleMania match. It was Ricky Steamboat versus uh, Randy Savage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one like as somebody who is not a savant of wrestling, one moment that you see when you talk about early '80s, '90s wrestling is Randy Savage jumping down with that big old elbow onto somebody who I didn't know at the time was Ricky Steamboat, but it's like the perfect like action shot. It's fantastic. So
Did you need to know anything after you watched that match? Right, knowing basically nothing, about the ups and downs of a match, right? Knowing that wrestling is the F word, we're not going to say the F word. It's a sports entertainment, right?
yeah,
Um, Tell me how that what that did for you.
okay. So essentially, looking at it with newish eyes, so to speak, what it did for me was it. Yeah, this is gonna sound really corny. This is gonna sound really corny,
Bro,
but
we're
I'm gonna
talking
start off
wrestling, man.
wrestling. But it made
Wrestling.
me believe, like clearly cognitively, I know what it is. This is entertainment. This is stage combat. And as I'm watching this, no
Hmm.
background, fresh out the oven. From the moment that Randy Savage makes a feint towards Ricky Steamboat before the match even starts, that all lets me know this is a man of ill intentions. This is
The
clearly
heel. The heel.
the heel. Yes, the bad guy, the
Yeah.
heel.
The bad guy.
And that
Yes,
the
sir.
other guy would be the baby face or face, the
Yes,
good
sir.
guy.
Yeah. Ric Flair, I'm sorry. Once you start listening, you don't like the outsiders using insider terms, but sorry, dude.
Fair. All right. So
Yeah.
right from the get go, but something, and we've never talked about this. In the very beginning of the match, you see Savage come out of the ring, and he does like 18 times, but he literally takes Miss Elizabeth. his manager,
Hmm.
and who I later found out was his actual real life wife, away from George the Animal Steel?
Steel.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So he moves away.
Hairy dude.
So that
Eight
kind of
turnbuckles.
so that kind of gave me like, okay, he's the heel, but maybe he's not a total monster. You know what I mean? Like it actually gives him a little bit of humanity to him. I'm like, okay, he's looking out for his own. Cool. But
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, the Ricky Steamboat's the face. Cool beans, love that. Then all of a sudden, you start seeing him wrestle in a way that you're like, I kind of thought that he was the heel and not you? Because some of his
Yeah.
actions,
Yeah.
I can't remember any off the top of my head. Please forgive me. And I'm not talking about his arm drags, which look beautiful, by the way. I don't care what like, yeah, beautiful. And then I'm like, wow, that's pretty intense. And then even one of the commentators, a Gorilla Monsoon, he said, I've never seen the dragon so aggressive, or something to that effect. And
Yep.
you're kind of like, okay, so what they're telling me is that whatever has happened between these two guys prior to the match has started pushing the boundaries of the face
Hmm.
and making him take on some heelish tendencies.
Yep. Yep.
Now, for me, I'm kind of like, okay, all right, that's storytelling. That's storytelling.
Storytelling.
And that's when I started getting hooked because I'm like, all right, okay. Okay, and then you watch their body movements, and you see, like later on in the match, the frustration of Savage when he hits move after move. I don't know the names of them, but move after move after move on Steamboat, and
Yeah.
Steamboat just won't stay down. And you just see him
Yeah.
like, oh my god! It's not just rage; like you see like frustration in his face. And
Yeah.
I believe you call it selling, usually when
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
receiving a hit, but
Yeah.
he's emotionally selling.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
saying like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I can't put this guy down. So then
Mm-hmm.
you're going through and you're going through, and there's interference and there's shenanigans and a foot in our rope and this, that, and third. But I'm being told a story. I'm given a reason to care.
Reason.
And that's what I like. Give me a
That's
reason to care. If this were a theater, give me a reason to care that Macbeth is going to die or that
uh,
he's doing what he's doing. Give me a reason to care that Sweeney Todd has started murdering people. Give me a reason, and that's what they did in the ring.
and that's why Macho Man Randy Savage is my pick for the golden era Golden Boy. You know, he also brought in Slim Jim, a gigantic contract to WWE.
Yeah,
The matches he put out, the personality. You know, if you talk wrestling for people that don't watch wrestling, they say Hulk Hogan, they say Savage, and then they say Flair, in my opinion, right?
I
So I put
I think Ultimate
Savage.
Warrior is often said by people with not as much information, just because they
Yeah, they
did
say.
push his face so much. Like I remember him
Yeah,
being on the video games and everything.
let me explain to you why they say that. It's because they have not enough information, like you said.
Yeah.
No, no, get out of here. Stop it.
Hey, I'm just
I am the
saying.
ref. I am the ref. I am not biased. But Warrior, no dice. I even have Warrior vs Savage Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It's it's beautiful, but because Savage is there. Warrior, sorry man, can't do it. Can't do it.
Listen,
Can't do it.
now the layman though would say that. That's what I'm
Can't do
saying.
it. And that's
That's what I'm
why the
saying.
layman, come on, let me educate you a little bit because your answer would be wrong. I'm not biased. I am the ref.